Have you ever noticed how dogs look at us, even after a hard day? Even when we don't have time, even when we fail them? They don't charge, they don't hold grudges, they don't turn their faces, they just love. With that silent loyalty, with that wagging tail that says, I'm here, I still love you, I will always love. Today, the video is to remember something that the world sometimes forgets. Dogs don't hold grudges, but they keep love forever. And now I want to know from you, what is the name of your four-legged companion? What has he done that marked his life forever? If he could say a sentence to you today, what do you think he would say? Right here in the comments. Tell us your story. This space is one of love, connection, and gratitude for these beings who heal us every day, just with their presence. Because those who love dogs understand true love has a snout, it has fur, and it never holds grudges, only affection, only loyalty, only eternity. Have you ever stopped to think about what the world would be like if everyone loved like dogs do? They don't judge, they don't demand explanations, they don't demand anything in return. You just have to get home, and that's it. There he is, with his eyes shining, his tail wagging, and his heart wide open. Dogs don't remember what you did or didn't do. They just want to see you well, feel your presence, lie next to you, and make sure you know, I'm here, I still love you, I will always love you. Even if the day has been hard, even if the world has turned its back on you, a dog will never do that. He will stay there, waiting patiently, offering the silence that consoles, the look that understands, and the touch that heals, and the most beautiful. He doesn't need words to show love. He loves the way he leans his head against your leg, in the deep sigh as he lies next to you, in the simple act of following you around the house as if you were the center of his universe. It is as if you were saying, without sound, but with soul, I am here. And that's all that matters. A dog doesn't measure time, doesn't weigh what you have, doesn't demand that you be well to be loved. He loves you in your failures, in your silences, in your absences. Love even when you forget to love yourself. And this constant love, which is not shaken or exhausted, is one of the greatest gifts that life can give. A dog doesn't abandon you. On cloudy days, he becomes the ray of sunshine that insists on staying. And maybe that's why, next to them, we feel whole, even when we're in pieces. They don't heal the problems of the world, but they heal the world within us. They are able to transform tears into smiles, fears into warmth, tiredness into relief. They listen without interrupting, they welcome without judging, they love without measure, and all this, with such genuine simplicity, that we understand, the truest love is the one that doesn't need explanations, only presence. Dogs don't care if you're well-groomed, if you have money, if you're smiling or crying. They only care about one thing, being with you. They sense when you're sad. They feel when you are afraid. And, even without understanding exactly what is happening, they stay. And this staying heals. The silent presence of a dog is sometimes all we need to breathe again. When a dog looks at you, it doesn't see your mistakes. He sees your heart, and that's why they don't hold grudges. Even if you step away for a while, he'll rejoice just as much when you come back. He will receive you as if nothing had happened. Because, for him, what matters is not what happened. It is now. It is the reunion. It is the love that has never left the place. Perhaps the greatest lesson that a dog gives us is precisely this: to love without conditions, without expectations, without fear. They live in the present with intensity. And that makes them our greatest masters of pure love. A love that needs no promises, that does not demand guarantees. That simply exists and remains, even when everything changes. They do not cling to the past or worry about the future. They do not hold grudges or create scenarios of distrust. A dog loves because he loves it without asking for explanations, without expecting a response. And in this simplicity, he shows us how much we complicate human relationships. It makes us rethink how many times we stop loving out of pride, insecurity, fear of not being loved back. Meanwhile, he is still there, teaching us, with an open heart, that true love is free and courageous. This kind of love transforms the receiver, but it also invites the viewer. When living with a dog, something inside us softens, silences, awakens. We learn to forgive more, to value more, to show more. He learns that presence is worth more than words, and that silent loyalty is a noble gesture. Maybe that's why, when a dog loves us, we feel more human. Because his love reminds us of what really matters and how much we are capable of loving too. If only we let our hearts lead. Some people say that dogs don't talk, But those who live with one know, they say a lot. They say with their eyes, with gestures, with the joy of a simple, "You've arrived," or with the sadness of a "Don't leave me alone." And the most impressive thing is that, even after a tiring day, they still have the energy to give you love, because this love does not run out. There is no end, it only grows. If you've ever had a dog, you know what I'm talking about. You know how magical it is to have someone who vibrates with your presence every day, that welcomes you even when no one else seems to see you, who waits for you without haste, who forgives you without words, who loves you without measure. And that kind of love, this love changes us. It makes us want to be better, just to deserve that look that says, "You are everything to me." It is a love that cannot be explained, it is only felt. It doesn't need grand gestures, or special moments, it happens in the little things. In the silence of the night, in the evening walk, in the simple gesture of lying together on the sofa. A dog doesn't care about what you've achieved, but who you are. And, little by little, we begin to understand that the value of life is not in what we have, but in who we have by our side. His presence teaches us that true love does not need to be proven. It just needs to be lived. And living this love is like rediscovering yourself. It is realizing that there is beauty in being imperfect, that there is value in simply being. It is as if that innocent and light-filled look invites us, every day, to love more, to care more, to be more present. Because when someone loves you the way a dog does, there's no way you can continue to be the same. We change, we grow. And he learns that life can be lighter if we learn to love with the same purity, with the same surrender, with the same heart. Growing up with a dog by your side is growing up learning the value of simple affection, of the affectionate touch, of the moment of shared silence. It is understanding that it is not always necessary to speak to comfort someone. Sometimes, just being together is enough. Just touch your nose to the hand of the one you love, and stay there, quietly, sharing the pain, the joy, the life. And when we go through difficult times, they feel it, and they do everything to cheer us up. They pull the cover, lie on their chests, lick their faces, put their paws on top of us, as if to say, "I'm here." Sometimes, that alone changes everything. Because knowing that there is such a small being, but with such a big heart, willing to take care of us, even without understanding what is happening, is one of the greatest blessings in life. There are people who say that dogs are just animals, but those who live with one know that they are much more than that. They are guardians of our soul, angels with paws, friends who don't leave even when they leave. Because when a dog loves, it leaves part of it in our hearts forever. A brand that does not leave, does not disappear over time. And this mark remains in the memories, in the smell that we don't forget, in the noise of paws around the house, in the space on the sofa that remains empty, but full of presence, and, above all, in the love that remained. Because the love of a dog never dies, it just changes shape. From physical presence, it becomes a living memory. And that memory embraces us when we need it most. Even those who are still here, with us, already show us how eternal they are. Every day lived together, every affection exchanged, every morning they wake us up with their snouts cold. All this builds a love story that does not fade, a story that we carry inside our chest for life, and that, in some way, transforms everything around us. Maybe life is even more beautiful with a dog around. They teach us to slow down, to play again, to value the small moments. They teach that a simple walk can be an adventure, that the simple act of waiting at the door can be a gesture of love, and that time together is more important than anything else. If you have a dog right now, look at it calmly. Look at the details, the way he accompanies you with his eyes, how he adjusts himself to sleep closer, how he changes his expression just by hearing his voice. All of this is love. A silent but deep love. A love that says, "I only exist for you." Notice how he understands even what you don't say. How he notices your sadness before you even realize it. And how, even without knowing how to solve it, he stays by your side, quiet, whole. It feels your energy, connects with your state of mind, becomes a refuge on gray days and celebration on good days. Nothing about it is by chance. Every movement carries a pure intention. Every look is a prayer without words. And when you allow yourself to realize this, something in you changes. The rush slows down. The heart listens more. The soul warms up. Because the presence of a dog is a gift that life puts in our days to remind us of what is essential. They live a short time, but leave a lot. They teach us about presence, loyalty, forgiveness, and surrender. And as long as they are by our side, they deserve more than routine. They deserve eyes that see, hands that care, quality time, and love reciprocated. Because when we love consciously, we transform coexistence into memory, and everyday life into eternity. And that's what a dog wants most, to be loved, and be remembered as such. And if you've already lost one, know, his love still lives inside, in your way of remembering, in your smile when you see a photo, in the emotion that comes suddenly, when thinking about everything they have experienced together. This is a sign that he never really left. It just became beautiful nostalgia. And so date is also a form of presence. Dogs don't know how to hold grudges. They don't know how to be cruel. They don't know how to turn their faces. But they know, like no one else, how to keep love. A love that goes beyond time, distances, even farewell. Because their love is spiritual. It's divine. It is greater than any explanation. And when we learn to love like them, life changes. We start to forgive more easily, to value more, to live more lightly, to listen more to the heart. Because every dog that passes through our lives takes a little of our pain and leaves much of its light. They teach us that love doesn't have to be complicated to be true, that it is not in the noise, but in the silence that the deepest feelings are revealed. By loving as a dog loves, we allow ourselves to be more whole, less ego, more presence, less demand, more acceptance. We learn that touch heals, that the look welcomes, and that the simple act of being together can transform someone's day. It is a love that does not scream, but marks, that does not demand, but fulfills. And perhaps the greatest miracle is this, discovering that within us, there is also this ability to love with purity, with surrender, with soul. Just look at them, our four-legged companions, and let the lesson come in. Because when the heart learns from a dog, it never loves the same way again. He loves more, love better, love with gratitude, and he understands, finally, that true love is the one that turns on light where there was darkness before, and continues to illuminate even after it leaves. And now, if this video touched your heart in any way, tell us in the comments. What's your story with your dog? What was that moment that you never forgot? Write his name below, and, if you feel it in your heart, type, "I love dogs" to spread even more this love that only those who live know how strong it is. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell, because every day we bring messages like this, full of affection, presence, and faith for you and your four-legged companion. And if you know someone who loves dogs, or who is in need of a word of hope today, share this video with that person. Because sometimes, all the heart needs is a reminder that love still exists, and often, it has four legs and a look that says it all without having to say anything.